Man, it feels like an eternity since we last saw the season finale of Game of Thrones Season 6, but get ready because winter is coming in July. All right, guys, welcome back. So, like I said, winter's coming in July. Game of Thrones Season 7. It's not coming out as soon as we'd like, but it's coming out in July, and I think the wait is going to be worth it. But you know what? We've got some questions we want to answer. And with me is my panel, Josh Silverman, Hannah Cotter, and Ryan Chichester. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Happy to be here, Mike.
Happy to be here. How's the wait?
It's rough. I've been watching Silicon Valley and Veep every Sunday.
Yeah.
And it feels a little empty without Game of Thrones.
Yeah, there's that whole
Yeah.
life just needs to be filled, and it can't be filled soon enough. So anyway, there's a lot to talk about. Let's get into the first question. And my first question is, what is JAIME going to do about CERSEI? When we last saw JAIME, he watched CERSEI as she was anointed queen of the Seven Kingdoms. But I think he knows what CERSEI did, and he's in kind of in a little bit of a tough place right now. What do you think JAIME's going to do about CERSEI?
I mean, so much of that prophecy from season 5 has been coming true for CERSEI, so I wouldn't be surprised if the little brother who's supposed to kill CERSEI is JAIME, her brother. But I've also been thinking a lot about that prophecy, and I thought maybe it could mean a little brother of someone else. So, you know, Jon Snow could be the little brother of Targaryens, or Tyrion could be the little brother who kills CERSEI. But I have a strong feeling that it's going to be JAIME.
Okay.
I feel like there's no way they come out and just kill Cersei right away, so something has to happen to let the plot develop, but I would not be surprised if at some point in the show JAIME does kill his sister.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, JAIME also killed the Mad King, so I can see him killing Cersei too.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, right?
No.
Because JAIME broke a sacred oath and murdered his king, stabbed him in the back for talking about doing the thing that Cersei did. Cersei wasn't talking about it. Cersei actually did it now. So in that moment, back when he killed the Mad King, it showed that his oath his sense of right and wrong, right, seemed to be greater than the oath that he took towards the king. It's going to be tested again now. Is his sense of right and wrong stronger than his love for Cersei? But I don't think he will outright kill Cersei. I think he might do something alternatively, like leave Cersei and help Brienne instead, because we know that they have a little bit of a fling too.
I can see a murder-suicide, actually.
A murder-suicide?
Yeah, maybe he kills Cersei and is so guilty, because obviously his love for Cersei was higher than his care for the Mad King. So maybe he kills her and then feels so terrible about it, just decides to off himself.
Off himself, and then you know what? After that, his legacy is just going to be a king and queen slayer.
Yeah, and they have no kids. I mean, they're all dead also,
Yeah.
so... after Cersei's gone, I don't know really. I like that. I like that prediction.
Yeah, trouble in King's Landing.
Good prediction. Trouble in King's Landing indeed. Anyway, but let's move north now. Jon Snow, we found out last season, and Bran also found out that Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen are actually Jon Stark's parents. So Jon Stark has Targaryen blood. This has been confirmed, but Jon doesn't know anything about it yet. When do you think he might find out? And if he does find out, what do you think the implications of that are going to be?
I don't know. I don't know how he'd find out other than, I mean, Bran's close to the wall right now.
Yeah.
So I could see that being the way he finds out. But I'm interested to see how they develop Jon's character into really finding out about this.
I have a feeling that Jon and Daenerys are going to be in the dark about this, and they're eventually going to team up. But I have a feeling that they won't know that they're partially related.
I think it will be Bran to tell him and go through the wall. And we were talking about this earlier. Bran has that mark from the Night King on his arm. So I could see when he comes through the wall, whatever that magic is of the wall that doesn't let the unliving come across, I think maybe that somehow erases it, and that's how the White Walkers get over the wall.
That could be a possibility. And another thing to keep in mind too is that how can the story really advance for Jon without him knowing his lineage? Because right now he's focused on uniting the North and protecting against the White Walker invasion, but there's a bigger picture that's going on here, and Jon's not going to be a part of that bigger picture unless he knows his lineage.
Exactly.
But another thing is that if he finds out and he thinks that he's supposed to go to King's Landing and fill some kind of prophecy. Does he even want to do that? He turned down, like he doesn't really want to be in power. He doesn't want to be in charge. It feels like he's been forced into those situations.
I think it's a little different. I don't think he'd be in charge anyway. I think he'd probably give it to Daenerys and be her. I mean, Tyrion's her hand of the queen.
Yeah.
But he'd probably be like an advisor, like a knight, kind of like Sir Barristan was to her.
Okay, great. All right, moving on. So, Jorah, right? When we last saw Jorah, he was told by Daenerys that Daenerys basically ordered him to go off and heal himself and then return once he did. The only problem is that he's got grayscale, and that's basically a death sentence if you're an adult. What do you think he's going to do? Because I don't think we're done with Jorah yet. We haven't seen the last of him. What do you think he's going to do to try to heal himself? Do you think he'll be successful?
I disagree. I think we have seen the last of him. I don't see him coming back. I think the way he left was kind of on good terms, and I would not be surprised if we don't see him again.
Okay.
I actually disagree with that because I read a thing online saying that people saw him boarding a plane that was going to Ireland, where a lot of Game of Thrones is filmed, and he had a script with him. So I have a feeling that we will be seeing him and that he will be playing a significant role. I was kind of thinking, what if Jorah did find a cure for the grayscale and Daenerys used that to her advantage? Because isn't it true once you have grayscale, you become this mindless, when it takes over your whole body, like rock creature?
That's if you don't get cured.
Yeah.
If you're not cured, you become a stone man.
Right, so if you become a stone man, then that's more of an army. She already has this unsullied army with her. If she had an army of these grayscale people.
Well, to a certain extent, because like you said, they are mindless. They're also contagious. So if you have a mindless, contagious army, that could infect the rest of your healthy army, and then you'll.
But if Jorah finds a cure, then they could use that to their advantage.
Possibly. Another thing to keep in mind is that I was looking at some theories today. Is that we have Jorah, right? And do you guys remember back in season 2 when Jorah was taking Dany through Karth, when they came across the Quaith, that lady who had like the mask on, and she was kind of mysterious. She like showed up and then she left as soon as she showed up. So what she was doing in Karth was she was healing some kind of protection spell. She was doing some kind of magic on this person who had been through the ruins of Valyria. Now, what's in the ruins of Valyria? The Stonemen, exactly. So he could possibly seek her out for some kind of magical help. Remember Shireen Baratheon? She had grayscale, and the only way she was able to be healed of it was because Stannis brought in all the maesters, all the healers from all over the world, and they eventually did something to get it done. But I don't think we know exactly what they did. I think that's going to be another reveal about the Game of Thrones universe.
Could get it in the Citadel too. This whole show has been eventually about to be about everyone, all these side stories crossing paths. He could go to the Citadel where Samwell is right now, and that crazy library makes Arnold Bernard look like a mom and pop store. But he could find the cure there.
Possibly, absolutely. But I think it's going to be interesting to see if we do see him, what he's going to do. Because I think if he does heal himself, what that shows is that he is more important than we give him credit for.
I agree.
Right?
The other thing is he could sacrifice himself if something were to happen, and he knew he was going to die anyway. But he'd have to be close to Daenerys, and I don't think he's going to risk getting her infected.
Infected. Good. That's a good point. All right. We're going to move on to Cersei and what she is doing. So Cersei's in a little bit of a tough place, even though she's just been crowned queen. But Dany's army is on the way. Now, I have a list of everything that's in of everybody that's in Dany's army. Ready? She has 8,000 Unsullied. She has Dothraki hordes. She has the Iron Fleet. She has the backing of House Tyrell and Dorne. She has the strategists in Varys and Tyrion, and she has 3 dragons.
It's not that much when you think about it.
Does Cersei even have a chance here?
She has a mountain.
She has I don't think she stands a chance.
She doesn't stand a chance. She's got the mountain, but come on now.
Just thinking about the show, though, I can't see
It being
Dany's
that
path
easy.
being
It's
that
not-
easy.
it's not gonna
Something
be
has
that.
to happen on her
I
way to King's Landing to make things more difficult, whether it be Euron Greyjoy and his pirates or whatever. Maybe they, knock some of her fleet out a little bit at least.
There could be a deal made between the Greyjoys who felt spurned by Yara and Theon Greyjoy deserting them. They might say, oh, you know what, you guys, I'm gonna go join Cersei and the Lannisters now. So it's a little bit interesting. I do agree with you that right now it looks like it's too easy for Dany, like that she's just gonna walk in there and mow everybody down. But it's gonna be interesting if she faces any hardships and what those are going to be. Who knows? She could be half of her army could be wiped out by something that we haven't even seen before.
And Cersei I think we heard that the Mad King has like more of those barrels of
Wildfire.
Yeah, aren't there's more of them all over the city? She's clearly not afraid to blow a bunch of stuff up in her own city. Like, that could be another way where a bunch of Dany's army gets wiped out.
Could be. All right. All right. This is a question we ask before every single Game of Thrones season. Who's not making it to season 8? We're gonna throw the dart wheel.
There's so many
Littlefinger.
characters.
I don't think Littlefinger makes it any
Littlefinger?
further. Yeah, I think I can see there's a lot of question about a conflict could be with Sansa and Jon Snow about like the power over Winterfell, but I could see them more deciding to team up and Sansa stays in Winterfell while Jon goes to King's Landing after he finds out about his heritage, and just Littlefinger gets killed in the crosshairs of that. So I would say Littlefinger. I could see Arya killing Melisandre. I can see her dying.
Yep.
Let's see the Mountain definitely dying.
The Mountain
Cersei too, honestly.
Cersei too.
Yeah.
I think she's going to make it. I think she'll die before the end of the series, but I think she'll make it past this one.
Hannah?
I mean, this is a tough one, but I kind of have to agree with Ryan with Littlefinger. I have a feeling it's going to happen at Sansa's hand in some way, shape, or form, because there is this power struggle between those two.
Definitely.
And I feel like maybe it could be he's trying to help, bring her and Arya together, and somehow,
I think
he dies, but I feel like it could happen at Sansa's hand.
Definitely Sansa's hand, because if Sansa kills Littlefinger, that proves how much more independent and how much stronger Sansa can be, and she can become, the strongest, one of the strongest characters on the show.
And she quickly is becoming.
Yeah, absolutely. That she's quickly rising up the ranks and discovering who she is and what she has to do to save the Stark family name.
I know you have a Leonard Tyrell on there.
Oh, yeah. I was going to talk about this.
I don't think she dies because
No?
if she dies, then there's no more House Tyrell, and I think that people have loved
Exactly.
House Tyrell throughout
Exactly.
the show, and I think they're going to play an integral part with
I agree.
the Dorns.
The Dornish
people.
Yeah, they're going to play an integral part with the Dornish people, but like you said, she's the last of House Tyrell. What does she have to lose? She's old. She's going to die anyway. I think she's going... Now, this is kind of like a wild take, but I think she's going to go after Cersei herself, but she's going to fail. So, and she's going to be one of Cersei's, small victories. I think Cersei's ultimately going to lose, but she's going to have small victories along the way. And Olenna Tyrell might be one of those small victories. I think House Tyrell, by the end of the season, House Tyrell is going to be gone. And I think Olenna Tyrell is the last piece of that. And she might just say, because what does she have to lose? She might do something crazy and not really care about her life anymore, like going after Cersei directly. Because she has no sons, once she's done, House Tyrell is done. House Tyrell is effectively done right now. But anyway, so some news came in today, right, about 4 new Game of Thrones spin-offs that were announced. Now, we don't know what they're going to be about, but we're going to try and make a guess. Josh, what do you got?
So I said Robert's Rebellion, which would involve the Mad King and all that. One would be the First Men versus the White Walkers. I think one main character will get either a spin-off or a future, like or like their past, whatever. And then the fourth, we were talking maybe like the Mountain and the Hound. Although I don't know how interesting that would be. They'd have to involve some other characters. Sebastian's backstory would be really cool.
Would be.
Those are just a couple I have. I don't know about you guys.
I mean, I can see like a young Ned Stark spin-off or a Bran Adventures with the Three-Eyed Raven spin-off. I
Okay.
feel like they're kind of like essentially any character can be spun off because all of their storylines are so deep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's so many options. I would prefer different timelines, like we were talking about, younger Ned Stark, the Mad King, stuff like that. I feel like Game of Thrones is so detail-oriented right now. I don't feel like going into stuff that's already going on right now for a whole nother series.
Yeah.
I think it would be better to go into other timelines that haven't really been explored yet and just hinted at in the show.
How about this? What if we had a spin-off that was about the House of Black and White and the Faceless Men?
I would.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
I would
Yeah.
watch it.
I would watch
Hagar
it.
spin-off.
Yeah, a Jack and Hagar spin-off where we follow all the people he has
The
to
many-faced God.
sacrifice
I
for the
actually
many-faced
heard
God.
something interesting about him. I was talking to someone the other day, and they thought maybe he was Arya's sword fighting teacher in
Sure.
season 1.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
we saw
Because
that
they're
too, yeah.
both from the same place.
Yep.
And like we don't know really that he died. It was
Yeah.
only
Yep.
just hinted at.
We don't see him die, and we know that.
And his ultimate goal was to train her to fight so she could be this thing, and she just ultimately betrays him.
And as a faceless man, he can change his appearance
Right.
at will. Exactly. I think those are some very interesting theories, and you know what? There's just so much more to talk about. We could sit here for
hours.
literally hours and talk about this stuff. But you know what? I think we're gonna have to end this right now.
Yeah.
So because otherwise, that's exactly what we'll do. But you know what? I think it just shows how detail-oriented Game of Thrones is, and how we really can't wait for season 7 to come out. It's going to come out in July. But you know what? I think the wait is going to be worth it, and we can't wait.